Hey everyone, so I'm going to be talking about the Cory catfish, more commonly known as just Cory Cat. So these are a pretty common bottom feeder. You'll find them in pretty much any fish store, pet store, Petco, PetSmart. Most of the smaller stores that actually sell fish, local pet stores that sell fish, pretty much are all going to have Cory Catfish. Most people will know what Cory Catfish is. They're very, very common fish, and for a good reason. I mean, they're very energetic little fish. They're always swimming back and forth and up and down in the tank. Very fun to watch, little guys. And they're also very easy to care for, which is always a plus on fish. So they're good for beginners. They're good for experts. Good for everyone. Alright, so let's get into the actual care here. So again, they are very easy to care for, which again makes them good for beginners or experts alike. Now there are many different species of Cory cats, but so this is kind of just general information on them. So their size will range usually between 2 to 3 inches. There are some that are smaller, such as the pygmy Cory cats. They are somewhere around an inch only, but the common size for most Cory cats is somewhere between 2 to 3 inches or so. pH should be somewhere around 7, which is really common for most fish, is somewhere around 7. 6 to 8, somewhere in there is good. But like most fish, as long as your pH doesn't fluctuate too much, you should be okay. As long as it's not way too high or way too low, you should be okay. Temperature, somewhere in the mid to upper 70s is great for them. I personally keep mine at about 80, actually, which is maybe even a little bit too high, but they seem to be doing just fine though. So anywhere between the mid 70s to about 80 is good for them. Their lifespan is somewhere around 3 to 5 years, so they'll live a decent amount of time, especially for such a small little fish. So that's really cool. Temperament-wise, they are very peaceful. So tank mates, they can be pretty much with anything as long as the other thing does not try to eat them. So you do not want to be putting them in with giant fish, things like that. But for the most part, though, they're good with any other types of fish, especially community tanks. They'll be good with. They won't pick on anybody. Now, if you find them picking on or eating something that's dead, most likely that fish died before they got to it. They're just being bottom feeders and eating, I guess. Aquarium size is at least 10 gallons, but I would actually recommend higher than that, just because they are so active, little boogers, and they do best in groups of at least 4 or 5 or more. So put those two things together, being active and wanting to be in a shoal or a school, that should mean that they should get a bit more room. But at least 10 gallons is the bare minimum for them. But again, I'd recommend at least a 15 or 20, personally. Let's see. So food, again, bottom feeder. So they'll eat anything that your other fish do not get that has hit the bottom. So they're always digging through the sand or gravel or whatever. You can also feed them bottom feeder pellets, and you should feed them bottom feeder pellets and algae wafers or algae pellets or stuff like that. At least to supplement their other diet. Otherwise, they might not get enough food, which is of course not a good thing. And things that do not get enough food, of course, will not survive. Then one more thing I want to talk about is because they have their barbels, little whisker things. They actually do best on sand instead of gravel. Gravel can actually break off their barbels, which can do very bad things to the poor Cory. And that goes for almost all bottom feeders, especially bottom feeders that have the barbels. It's just better to keep them on sand than it is gravel, because again, gravel can actually break off their barbel. So, alright, so there's some basic information on the Cory catfish, aka Cory catfish. Thank you all very much for watching. Hope you found this somewhat informative and helpful. So yeah, thanks, and have a good one. Goodbye.